Hello, and welcome. Did you have a good Merry Christmas? I did. I for sure did. I think Tommy might have. If you can hear this voice, my name is Kellen King.
I'm Tommy DeSalt.
This is the Post Hump Day podcast, aka PhD podcast. Comes out every Thursday. Tommy, I heard you had a good Merry Christmas, but you might have what? You might have hurt your knee again. This isn't high school football anymore. What happened?
Yeah, no, pretty sure I tore my meniscus, but
Jeez.
the whole walking thing has been
A struggle.
a struggle. But yeah, man, it was one of those. It happened like a week ago.
About a week ago.
But when you get to be this age, you just think like, I'll give it a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll
Then go see the doctor.
magically get better. It has not. So, yeah, but man, the dog was all muddy.
Your dog, yeah.
All muddy. We were trying to go. It was like really bad timing. I was in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Grabbed the dog, and
Like a calf.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Scooped him.
Yeah, and just kind of manhandled him. He was kind of fighting me because he didn't want to come in. He was having fun in the mud.
God.
And I can't blame him. But, yeah, so it was right as I was lifting him. I kind of turned, I guess.
Messed up the knee.
And,
Dude, that's the worst. Like I said, I think we were talking about this off air. I think is that one of the things that you have to have surgery on?
yeah. No, not always.
so.
But this one might be. Yeah.
Well, so I think I tore mine on spring break when we were in college. I was telling you about it. We had one of those like runner vans or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Actually this van, yeah. So it was one of those vans that we, my parents grew up with. But it was one of my buddies. His parents had the same type of van. It had the movie lights in it. The back seat folded down, all that.
The OG Sprinter, baby.
Yeah, and or the Ted Bundy van.
It was for the long haul, though.
Yeah, and so we were like just what you do on spring break, a little intoxicated, and I've always wanted to just jump out of a moving car. Like you see it on movies, you think it'd be cool to do, and so I was like, hey guys, all right, set me up for this. Like let's go go about 20 miles per hour, and I'll just try to roll out. We were on like some neighborhood that had a bunch of bars out in Destin or whatever, and as soon as I was jumping out, I planted that foot. The one thing you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it stuck, and my whole body went the other way, and it hurt so bad. They like pulled her. Like first of all, they kept driving. I'm just sitting there on the side of the road, just like in someone's front yard, just like, oh my God. Like that one Peter Griffin meme where he's holding his knee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been me all Christmas.
Dude, it's tough.
So did you didn't even get it on video, did you?
No, this was pre.
Dang.
I mean, I guess people had iPhones, but not the type of 4K shit we got going on now.
Yeah, that's where you really fucked up.
So I've been seeing
Couldn't even go viral, but you know what?
I've been seeing
I actually respect that more because you just did it for the experience.
Yeah.
I did that once.
Didn't do it for the gram. I did it for the fam.
Yeah, I did that without being on video also.
Yeah, yours was just being an old man. I've seen Miss Beebe and.
I meant jumping out of a car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I also jumped out of a car once.
Yeah, but yours was a little bit more like you're getting taken. Like
I'm
Liam
just
Neeson
like, and
style.
I'm an outlaw on the run, and I'm.
Have you heard this story, Beebe?
Yeah, when he was being taken to rehab.
Yeah. The last time. So this wasn't like I was some stubborn 17-year-old kid. No, this was 6 years ago. Yeah. I actually, the guy that came over and got me to take me to detox was an interventionist. He's local to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He's a pretty big deal around these parts for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. He
You wanna
owns,
give him a shout out?
like, he's very successful. His name is Mike Jones.
Who?
And that's what I said to him the entire time. And I drove him crazy. I was just chirping him like crazy, just like, who
He was probably
who
like, you know
are
what?
you?
He's probably like, get out
No,
of my
who
car.
are you? Who? And then anyway, so yeah, he actually he stopped off. If you're familiar with the Hewlin area, if you're around Fort Worth, he stopped off at a liquor store on Hewlin on the way out.
Wait, he did for
for
when
me,
you were going
because that was kind of part of my negotiation deal
Okay,
at the time was if you can stop by the liquor store, like
I'll go with you.
this will go a lot more smoothly for everybody. So, but then yeah, man, I was doing some other stuff. Anyways, yeah, when I realized like, oh man, we're actually doing this and I don't want to. And we're going to Dallas and he's taking me to this detox hospital or somewhere. And as soon as he was exiting and I saw the sign, I was like, nope, I'm out. And I threw all kinds of drinks around his car. And I initially grabbed his steering wheel.
Oh, God.
While he was driving. And tried to.
So he let you be in the front seat?
Yeah, I was riding shoddy and just partying. And then I grabbed his steering wheel, tried to, pull over.
Yeah.
And that didn't work too well. So then he got out, kind of scolded me, put me in the back seat.
Yeah. First of all, he should.
And then when I was in the back, that's when I bailed.
I was going to say, he probably had child lock. Why wouldn't he have child lock on him?
I don't know, man. He trusted me. I'm a pretty trustworthy guy.
Yeah, but he's done what? Thousands of these, I'm sure.
I know. Well, so actually, he told me later. He came and visited me when I was under the constraints. But he was like, dude, you were fine at first. Like, I had a conversation with you, and then something happened along the way.
Yeah, reality set in.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, man. So I have felt the rush that you felt also.
Isn't it cool?
And I got to tell you.
Yours was probably a little bit more life or death than mine.
Mine was like tuck and roll, so my foot didn't catch. But my shoulder and my hip was
it's sad because I was under the influence as well when I was doing mine. And the one thing I kept telling myself was, make sure you don't land on your feet. Make sure you're tuck and roll. But as soon as it wasn't even, it wasn't planned. Like my foot just barely touched it.
Yeah.
And that was enough.
That's enough.
That was enough for it to just pull that way. And it hurt.
I got to tell you, it was nothing like the movies.
No.
It really was not.
Shout out to the stuntmen and women.
Yeah. Mine was not graceful. Mine was just flop.
Right.
But, yeah. Actually, I don't even, that story's,
We can save some of those rehab stories for another day.
It's a long one. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing like hurting yourself sober. Because like with this knee deal, dude, I was lifting my dog, my 40-pound dog, and twisting at the same time. And like I wasn't doing anything heroic.
Right.
And then the pain, like there's no glory in that.
You know your dog sees you as a hero, though.
He saw me as an enemy. He wanted to play in the mud.
That's true. Well, was this around Christmas?
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about, obviously we've had some Christmas time, but now it's, this is the post hump day, so this is post Christmas. I want to hear how y'all's Christmas went, and we'll tell you a little bit about mine. Did you guys get everything that you wanted? Did you get everything that Santa, you wrote and gave to Santa? Were you nice or not?
Yeah, no, I kept it fairly simple for Santa this year.
That's good.
Yeah, he had 4 things on his list. He had 2 hats, a belt, and a sweatshirt.
You got any of those things on right now?
No, I don't. But
maybe next episode.
Yeah. No, but I got way more than I asked for.
Yeah, he got
super
a
blessed.
new closet, basically.
Damn.
Much needed.
Yeah.
There you go. What'd you throw?
I get a lot of comments from the viewers saying they always see me in the same clothes.
Well, you know what? We're men. We wear basically the same stuff.
Yeah, no, it's like a uniform. I actually heard somewhere that people with higher IQs wear the same clothes more often.
I wear a white shirt 90% of the time. A white T-shirt 90% of the time. That is what, Charlie Brown, when he goes into his closet, he's got that white. I don't know if you ever saw that. Not white. Sorry, yellow and black striped shirt. He has. They do the same joke on all those shows. Like Doug Funny, he had all those same shirts in his closet.
Yeah, it makes life
That's
easy.
how my closet looks. I would say probably 70% of it is just white shirts, and then you got some that are white and have some print on it. But like, yeah, white's the for me.
I'm more the man in black.
Yeah, I know.
I got a lot of black shirts.
Yeah.
Um,
The
It's
thing
like a
with-
chunk.
the
Ours
thi-
is like color
Yeah,
coordinated or
same
whatever.
here.
It's like a really
Big-
large chunk.
yeah.
Just
yeah,
black
she did
t-shirt.
that, not me.
See, okay, I'm wearing black right now, but the thing is with black, I hate this. Is when I wear black, like you got this just little.
A little dangerous.
Yeah, like I try everything. I try the
Hey,
head
you
and
know what?
shoulders. I try the
It was snowing.
yeah.
Let
it was.
Snow.
There was
Let
some
it snow.
flurries over the Christmas break.
Yeah.
But
Do you want me to zoom in on it?
yeah, if you could, right? Let's see. I mean, here, just get this shot right here. Look, see, look.
Oh, wow.
He
You
just
see
wants to
that?
show off his jawline.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. I did get it. Oh, go ahead. I want to hear what you
yeah.
got.
Well, let's hear.
Wait, what was the question?
What'd you get for Christmas?
Christmas?
Oh, I made a haul. I
Ooh.
got a bunch of new shoes. Got some Uggs. I got
New
these
shoes.
slippers.
Have y'all seen that mall commercial? New shoes.
No.
Okay, never mind. It's old. It's old. It's before her time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some new clothes. Got some cups. Got some jewelry.
Yeah.
That's good. What'd you get her? All the above, or some of the above?
I got her some boots. I got her a flannel. I got her some shoes. I got her a leather jacket.
Yeah, Levi's
Nice.
leather jacket.
That's
pretty
cool.
baller.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Dude, but she got a ring from her family
Mm-hmm.
when we were doing her family Christmas, and
It was in my stocking, so it was like the first thing.
yeah, so she
Ooh.
pulls it out, and mind you, it's 6:30 in the morning. I'm not awake at this point. I'm sitting there, and then I see her put a ring on, and her first comment in front of her family was, "Oh, a ring, but it's not from Tommy."
Yeah, I know.
I paused. I was like, I got a ring. And then my dad and my mom slowly turned around. I said, but not from Tommy.
Damn, dude.
It was
That's
so
all right.
funny.
Yeah, it was great.
Maybe I was gonna say something, but
We let it all
we'll
hang
let
out
it
here. Come
I'm starting to ring shop a little bit.
on. Me too. Yeah.
Oh, we
So-
should talk about that
Oh,
too, Tommy.
God.
No, we'll talk about
Dude.
that.
No,
off
we
the-
had a experience.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get
We'll get there.
Yeah, I've been doing it a little bit, but I've for the first time like understanding the lingo of rings, and I didn't know what any of this shit meant. And
Oh, you're in the education process
yeah,
too.
I'm in the education process. A lot of pamphlets, a lot of like, get to know your ring kind of thing, and we're getting there. But but I told her that prior to all this, I was like, we were talking about it, and I was like, but look, hey, there's not going to be same story as like what you guys went through. I was like, don't expect anything for Christmas, okay? Like that's not what's happening. She
I'm
was
not
like,
proposing
she's-
at Christmas.
she was like,
Man,
why
this
why
is-
would you even
yeah.
say that? That's like, I wasn't expecting it, but now that's like even worse. Like, what do you,
yeah.
Dude,
I was
we
like-
went through the same thing.
yeah, it's. I guess
Same
you just
thing.
don't bring it up. But we had fun. I was on the other side of Christmas this year, and what I mean by that is, when we were younger, you're getting all the gifts. You're getting, you're figuring out Santa's giving you all these gifts. Now I told you guys last episode that Lulu's kids, they're non-believers. Okay, the bell doesn't ring for them anymore. But it was fun to like get gifts for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And okay, so what I got, I mean, I didn't get too much. But I like what I got. I needed what I got. I needed a new like trimmer. You can see it. That's why I was going to talk about mine for a second. I shaved it a little bit too close because I don't know the blades just yet.
Yeah,
But
I think it looks sharp.
I did
Yeah,
too.
I thought you went to the barber. I
Yeah.
made a comment.
No,
looks
this is all at home, pre-made.
There you
But
go.
yeah, and I got
I got some clippers too.
Yeah.
actually.
then I got a what is it? Manscaped, one of those.
Oh, you got the
I've heard
lawnmower?
so many ads for that.
Did you get- is it a 4.0?
Yeah,
these
I
days?
did. I like it. It's good, and
It's
I
got,
got
a
some
LED light on it. dude.
Yeah, it does. And so you can just go into the
That's
bathroom and just
promo
turn the
code
lights out.
PhD 20.
Yeah.
Not sponsored, not sponsored.
Not sponsored. But no, I used it last night and I like it. And then I had like came with some underwear and some nose trimmers. And ears trimmers, but I don't really have hair in my ears, just in the nose.
Dang, I should have got that for you, Tommy. That
But
sounds nice.
But and I really needed a new trimmer, so that worked out pretty well. And then oh yeah, we got some from one of our friends. We got like date night paid for, basically. Like you know, you got the $50 from like movie theater, and then so we actually went to the movie theater last night on Christmas, and then or then a couple nights ago, and then we went to. Oh no, we haven't gone yet, but we got 50 for Texas State Brazil.
Oh man.
Oh, that's really nice.
So yeah, that was kind of mine, and then I got her
that
Yeah,
green
what did Lulu
card.
get?
Well, first let me tell you what I got their kids. So
Oh yeah.
her daughter's really into K-pop right now, which I mean everybody's into K-pop. We should start a K-pop band. That's our next expedition. We so she likes Blackpink. They're really big. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're like really big. Like probably a couple steps under BTS. BTS is its own animal, right? And then Stray Kids. They're like the new. They're kind of like, how would I describe it? Because BTS is kind of like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys combined,
Yeah.
right? I would say Stray Kids are kind of like, who's more of like the edgy boy band that like there really wasn't one. Backstreet Boys were kind of the edgy one.
Would we say the Hanson brothers?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, like they're a little bit more. They're not more niche, but they're good. So I got her like the albums, but they also come with their random covers. So like I didn't know. I got one off Amazon, so I didn't because they were sold out. I didn't know what it was going to be, and then all the posters inside are all random, all the like cards. So she liked that, and then I got her son. I fucked up. I was trying to get him Heelys. And he's a size 13 kids.
No.
And all the Heelys that I was looking at were kids' Heelys. And they're all sold out. And then like finally, at that size. And then I got them online, size 13. And I was like, hey, I was showing Lulu the day before. And I was like, hey, what do you think of these? And I hadn't even opened them. They were size 13. They don't even fit me. They're like this large. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
I was
crazy.
like, shit. All right, well.
Did you ever have Heelys, Kellen?
I had a friend that had them, and
I
he
had
let me borrow
Heelys.
them. They're
Yeah.
sick.
We
saw-
I used to go through the Hewlin Mall.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where else? I mean,
I would traverse all around.
My mom wouldn't let me have them. Said they were bad for my back.
what? Are they?
Yeah, they put like weird pressure
Well,
on your back.
we're getting them for him. But I just got the wrong pair and
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely get them for him.
We saw a kid at Gaylord just skating around with them, and I was like, you see those over there? Those are Heelys. And he's like, what's that?
Oh yeah.
I was like, those are from my generation. And I was like, they have a little wheel in the heel.
Yeah.
And you can skate around, and he was just infatuated.
Hell,
He's
you
like,
can even replace them.
Yeah, and he
You
wrote
get
that down on his little list. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, you get it.
Aw, that's
And then
cool.
I got him we got him some other toys, but I got him like a basketball goal. And we set that up. He's been hooping, stuff like that. He's a
on.
golfer now too.
Oh yeah.
So we got him like a little it's a Nerf one where you got like you can place the hole. So we've been like making obstacle courses through.
That's fine.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Dang, Kellen,
yeah.
you really.
Lulu,
good.
Lulu, I got her. Let's see, what do we? Oh, she wanted this like PJ set. It was really cute. She's been wearing it like crazy. And then like this like portable desk because she the place we're at right now, we don't really have a spot for a desk yet. And so she like really and she just usually like lays on the bed and watches TV or whatever. And so she just has like a little portable desk she can take places, and it's really nice. Like,
Dude, a desk will change your life if you let it.
Mm-hmm. Then I got her coffee mug that's like Legend of Zelda. I don't know if you guys ever played Legends of Zelda. Not
Oh
really.
yeah, I was pretty big Zelda kid
There's
back
like-
in the
I don't know if you remember. There's
second
like
grade.
There's like a farm that you go to,
Yeah.
and it's called Moo Moo Farm.
Yeah.
Well, it's their logo. It's like a little like cow on it. It's just
Mhm.
whatever nerd shit. But that's what I got her. It hadn't come in the mail yet. So that's what we did.
Very
It was pretty
cool.
good. And we did it on Christmas Eve because, I'm now in a Mexican family.
Yeah.
I was telling you.
Yeah. That's
They
yeah.
I was telling Tommy before the break or before we started recording, I was playing with Lulu's nephew online, the kid that's just nuts. and he was like, "Hey, do you know why we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve?" I was like, "No, why? What do you guys like?" He was like, "'Cause we're Mexican." I was like, "Okay, but why? Like, what? Just because you're like, what does that mean?" He's like, "I don't know. It's just because we're Mexican." I was like, "Dude, you and I are probably born in the same hospital,
Makes
Harris Hospital,
total
down the
sense.
street." Like, but the real reason, I know what it is. Do you know why they celebrate, or why people celebrate on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas Day?
Is it so they can like?
It has to do with the
celebrate?
Bible. But
Yeah, I was thinking because he was actually born at night.
Yeah, it has to do because the wise men came.
So they say.
The wise men brought their gifts like before.
Yeah. It makes sense.
So that's the real reason. I was thinking he was going to
The
say
big
that.
celebration and gathering was
Yeah.
at night under the.
So I thought he was going to say that. I was like, "Oh, really? Why?" He was like, "'Cause we're Mexican." I was
Because
like,
we're Mexican.
"All right, cool."
I like that answer way
Yeah,
better.
me too.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that's
But
kid logic. Can't be questioned.
did the nephew and niece come over?
Yeah. We actually went over. We started on the 23rd. We were pre-gaming Christmas early.
Because why? Because y'all are white. Y'all celebrate.
Yeah,
on the-
because we're
Yeah.
white.
Because we're white and not all of our families like come together and
Right.
celebrate
Yes.
together.
that's
I'm
the,
just kidding.
that's the white way to do
Yeah,
it.
that's
Honestly,
actually why. We went to one set of B's grandparents on the 23rd, and then we did her family Christmas on Christmas Eve morning, the 24th. Then we went to my brother and sister-in-law's for Christmas Eve dinner, and then Christmas morning we went to Rockwall. Went to it was a bigger family thing that her family had out in Rockwall at her other grandparents'. Then we drove back and did Christmas here till like midnight.
that's how you do it.
Yeah. So it was
Festivities.
it was busy. It was a
It was
lot.
very holly jolly.
Yeah,
yeah.
holly jolly. It was
Oh,
yeah. We had to remind each other to, stay in the
to be jolly.
to be jolly.
Yeah, we were just so tired.
Dude,
Yeah.
It was
It'll get you. She had to work over Christmas. I felt so bad for her. She had to go in every day. Kind of been telling you, she's had some like people, like quit the last couple weeks, but it happened back to back to back. And she's, like overseeing some hospitals. She has
Yeah.
to fill in. So she's like literally every day that like over this break
That's tough.
has been
yeah.
going in, and then having to come play Santa. It's been tough, but
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it'll it'll stir the pot
dude,
up.
I'm ready. I'm glad. I mean, it's been fun, but I'm glad we're past.
You ready for a breather?
I'm ready for New Year's. I'm ready for the new
Yeah.
year. By the way, everybody listening, this is the last episode of the 2022. That's the
That's
year,
right.
the year of our Lord podcast for the year.
Yeah, we're gonna roll into 23.
Yeah,
We've got plenty of exciting things coming up. We've got more guests that are gonna be coming on the show. Some that are much anticipated. You've heard us talk about on here before.
some from other podcasts,
Some from other podcasts.
other genre of podcasts.
Yeah, and on top of that, we are really thankful for what we've accomplished in less than a year, but this year, with all of you guys and gals listening, and really, I remember, weeks and weeks ago sitting around, had no idea basically, if people were going to listen,
Yeah.
and it's still growing.
That was months ago, Tommy, not weeks.
Well,
Weeks turn into months.
yeah, weeks and weeks ago. He didn't say how many weeks.
Oh, sorry.
Shit.
Sorry.
You know what's funny, though?
Could have been 52 weeks. Could
know
have been
what's-
a year ago.
You know what's funny? And maybe I said this when we first started, but the initial time we hung out to like decide if we wanted to do it or not was at Rio Mambo, right?
Yeah, we had,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
well, I don't know if you remember this, but when we first started a band together,
Hold on, I gotta let him know. When Kellen showed up to Rio Mamba, he had a notebook on him when he walked in
Hell
the
yeah,
door,
dude.
and
He
that's
did.
the second I knew. All right, this is happening.
Well, you already knew who. Oh, you meant like that I was into
That
it.
you're in it, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I just had that notebook in the car. I just thought might as well bring it in. No,
But sorry, you were saying when we had a band.
when we had a band together, or when we decided to start a band. I mean, it was just like on a whim. It was just like, I know how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
Cool. I play the drums. But we were eating at that Rio Mambo.
At Rio Mamba, yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
We were at that same restaurant.
What?
We
That's
were.
crazy.
I think I was like spending the night at your house or
Yeah,
something.
years ago.
And I think your mom just was like, "Yeah, Tommy plays the guitar," and I was like, "Cool, I play the drums." And then we just started talking
y'all
about
should start a band.
Y'all should start a band. So we did. We listened to Mr. Salt and we did the damn thing.
We did it.
Let's take a break. When we come back, I do want to talk about them boys, and I do want to talk about the New Year's and some resolutions. Stick with us.
And we are back. This is PhD.
Post Hump Day.
Post Hump Day.
I heard Finchy, the pup, had to.
Yeah, he, man, he's been a handful.
He's getting big, first of all.
He is. Well, I mean, my knee will tell you that, but
He feels like one of those Beanie Babies. Did you ever that same puppy that's like him in Beanie Baby form? Like I think they used that dog to actually.
might be the case. Yeah. No, we. So actually, it was Christmas Eve that day.
So remember, we're at my parents' house. We've done stockings and presents at 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, because that's what time
Y'all did it that early.
That's what
Yeah,
I-
because
that's what I was
their
saying.
puppy gets up that early
I was
every
not awake.
single
Gosh.
morning. So we did that, and then we had to clean up, let the dogs out. They're playing.
I don't
et
want
cetera,
a
et
dog
cetera.
anymore.
And
So it was a lot already.
yeah, it was already a lot. And then we put the dogs up when we were doing presents and stuff because that would not work out.
Right.
And so he was taking a nap and he was in his crate. And then I went up into the room and the smell was,
Otherworldly.
I mean, he'd had this issue a couple times, but we'd give him a bath and it would go away. This was probably the worst by far.
Smells like
His
fish.
butt. It's his butt. It's his tail end. And
I could read through the lines, but I'm glad
yeah,
you spelled it
basically, we've been giving him baths. Like we haven't taken him to a groomer's or anything. But we've been taking him to the vet, but nobody ever said anything. Anyways,
Because we were told he doesn't need to go to the groomer because of his coat. He doesn't need it to be trimmed because he's not fluffy.
So then we're like, yeah, we gotta, I'm thinking like after Christmas we'll deal with this or whatever. And B goes, no, I'm calling the vet right now and I'm seeing if we can take him because it's pretty close to her parents' house. So she calls him and then, anyways, yeah, we take him in and then the vet tech opens the door. He said, somebody's here for anal glands. And,
You raised your hand. And
yeah, Fincher was real excited that, somebody was taking him. And then the guy, he was pretty feminine, gay, had his eyes painted and everything. And
Yeah, he had like bright blue eyeliner. I felt like Fincher was in the best hands.
good.
Yes.
yeah,
His energy.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
perfect.
he knew what he was doing. But, yeah, man, so then the guy takes him back, whatever. I guess they got to express the anal glands.
Express.
Which really just means you like,
Pop them open.
yeah.
Clean
And
him out.
then he sprayed this perfume and then like let the dog back in the room with us. It's like, all right, y'all are good to go. And
Pretty quick.
like as soon as the door shut and I got a whiff of the smell, I was like, we're not leaving.
Helen, it was the mix of like, think of like dog perfume and the most putrid fish smell. Just mix. And it was just encapsulating the room.
Sounds like
And we were like, no way. Is he, like, what do we do?
That's just gross.
Yeah.
You knocked back on the door like,
So
hello?
yeah, no, I was like, I'm going back there, and she was like, no, you can't go back there.
But there's cameras in the room, so he probably saw
He
that.
probably saw I was about to.
Oh, yeah.
And then he walked back in. He's like, y'all are done. It's like, no,
No,
we're not.
I was like, what do we do?
I was like, so, like, you're not, like, telling me that this is how life is now, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, it was pretty thick and nasty. It's like,
Gross.
oh, man, that's not what I meant. But yeah, so he's like, I sprayed perfume on him. He's good.
That's
Dude,
gross.
it smelled, when we were driving home, it smelled like a funeral home in
Really?
the car, but worse. Yeah, so that was like a Christmas Eve. I won't soon forget.
I had a thought.
I gave him a bath, by the way.
I had a thought, and this is gonna get us off track. Probably, maybe, doesn't matter.
What doesn't?
Right. You keep saying groomers, like like the
Oh, we're
groomers.
going grooming here.
Yeah. So
Okay.
now there's a lot of people lately that like obviously there are groomers, right?
Mhm.
Okay, there's two types, right?
Yeah,
Right. The ones that y'all are talking about,
Yes.
and there's the ones that
Yeah.
prey on people. But then there's this group that have been like saying grooming a lot or groomers when maybe it's not. Do you think the first group, like the ones that are grooming animals, like when they go on Twitter, they just have the worst time in their life? Because they're like trying to like market it their brand and all this stuff, and they got all these like crazy people coming after them, and it's like, no, dude, I'm just trying to do anal glands with dogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
then
it's
it
just
makes
ruining their
the-
business. Maybe
Yeah.
I didn't think like I just had a thought.
Yeah, that's interesting thought. One I probably wouldn't have otherwise had, Kellen. So
Well, yeah, it's the
that
ADHD.
is.
It's the ADHD.
I'm in the
brand.
business of grooming.
Exactly, and you just have to kind of like rebrand.
No,
you know,
because they probably tag it with dog groomer,
Pet
dog groomer, pet groomer.
pet groomer.
Well, that's probably even
Grooming
worse.
dog, that's even sicker.
That's some
You
bestiality.
sick fucks.
That's the ADHD brain of mine, and I actually had another like I've been studying for this thing I have to take care of, right? And I know this happens to you when you have something you really need to take care of.
Yeah.
Your brain decides
You take a lot of Adderall?
I'm not prescribed it anymore.
Oh,
I need to get back on it. But when your brain like just says, "Hey, we need to check out this other fact. Like this is very demanding right now."
Okay.
And mine was something about a dog. I don't even know why it came up. It was there used to be this show on Nickelodeon called I think it's called 100 Good Deeds of Eddie McDowell. Did you ever remember that show?
No.
Okay.
That didn't ring a bell.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you the little elevator pitch and why I thought of it, and it just had to do with the dog. It's actually the exact same dog that you guys have.
Kellen's been given a lot of elevator pitches lately.
Yeah.
Here's the elevator pitch for 100 Good Deeds.
Okay.
So there's this bully in high school, and he's bullying kids, and then there's this stranger that he like bullies or like makes fun of or something. And that the stranger puts a hex on him and turns him into a dog. And the way for him to get back into a kid form is he has to do 100 good deeds.
Oh. Okay.
And my ADHD brain was like, hey, see if he actually ended up, because I used to watch the show when I was a kid.
Do 100?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if he did 100. No, I got canceled after he did 40. But I was doing a deep dive, and there's like a spot in it where I forgot he had like a love interest with another dog, and I'm thinking like, this is actually a kid, right? So picture
A
this.
kid with a dog?
No, he's a dog.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's the last kid he bullied is the only person he can hear talk. Like he's a dog. Does that make sense? And so
Yeah.
the last kid's helping him like complete these deeds.
I got it.
But he has the bully Eddie McDowell has a love interest as a Pomeranian. But I'm thinking, when you change from kid form to dog form, do you just automatically start being attracted to dogs? That's a pet groomer right there.
Yeah, that would be.
Do you get what I'm getting at? And I was just like, was going on this deep dive of a show I hadn't thought about in 15 years, and I was supposed to be studying this whole
Yeah.
time.
Do they know what missionary is?
Right. Well, no, they know doggy. That's about it.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
all they got.
They got one.
They're
it's
a
one-trick pony.
one-trick pony.
Yeah.
You beat me to it.
No, you set me up. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, I'm not trusting my setups anymore.
Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there because when you brought up your dog and
Yeah. No, I'm totally glad we got to
but that was just like
explore that.
it was just an old Nickelodeon show that like
Yeah.
I used to watch here and there, and it was good, but it just made me think of like all these Nickelodeon shows that like made it 1 or 2 seasons that I like. Cousin Skeeter.
Yeah,
Remember
whatever
that one?
happened. Oh, dude, I love that.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah.
There's like a
Skeeter.
bunch of those that I'm like, damn.
That was the OG Skeet.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And Megan Brown was in there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. I just wanted to.
Dude,
talk
I thought about
Megan.
that the other day with Gumby. Remember
Yeah.
Gumby?
I do, and his horse. Then there was, I felt like it was a fever dream for a long time. Those California Raisins that were like a blues band or a jazz band,
Yeah.
and they were just like they'd come on around the same time as Gumby, and I'd just be like, and then like I forgot about him, and I was like, was that a
Yeah.
Was-
I had a
was that
spaceship game that I played on the computer that I would play today if I could find it. I can't
I
remember it.
hate that. I've been
I get a lot of thoughts like that.
Yeah, we had like a text to play game where you would like be like, go to the next room or,
Yeah.
like pick up the lamp or turn on the lamp.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a murder house. Like you go
Yeah,
in and there's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I can never, me and my brothers can't think of the name. I hate that.
Yeah, I've run into that frequently.
Let's talk about them boys. Let's talk about the Cowboys. They just made the playoffs or they are now in the playoffs as in like, the last game that we played, the Eagles.
Yeah.
We won that game. Made us eligible for the playoffs. Have you been keeping up with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am a little confused by some of the moves they're making roster-wise.
Okay.
But I am super proud of really finding a way to come out on top this last week.
What do you mean by roster moves? Like, what do you?
Well, we've picked up some more receivers.
Ty.
We also got
He came in
Antonio Callaway.
Yeah.
Ty.
Ty came in the clutch.
So that doesn't confuse me.
Right.
That's a good call.
I've always really liked him.
I mean, we're going heavy on receivers.
Yeah.
When I don't know that's
not our
it should be our focus. We've got some hands out there.
Yeah. I mean, I like our number 1 and 2. I like, obviously Lamb's been doing insane.
You can't ask for more out of that guy.
Which is crazy because honestly, at the beginning of the year,
he's had some drops.
Yeah.
Early on in the season.
Yeah. And last year he fell off a lot.
Yeah. Which they were on him about.
Yeah.
But all in all, like I'm happy with his performance.
Me too. And like I really liked Amari Cooper. I really liked him. I thought he was, and he's doing great. I think he plays for the Browns. I'm sorry, but he's doing great. Like he always has been. He's always going to be a good receiver. But I was so mad that we got rid of him because I didn't think CeeDee Lamb was going to be ready to step up to kind of be that actual number 1 receiver. Because like Michael Gallup's, he's great too. But I would say at the beginning of the year, like out of number 1 receivers, CeeDee Lamb was like kind of lower on my list. As in, you got like these top receivers for each team. I would say he would be in that lower.
There was
like,
some
tier.
doubt from in general.
Yeah. And I think they've been trying to pick up that third receiver, but Noah Brown has been doing well. Like, he's been doing what we need him to be doing as a, third wide receiver. But I think that's what they're trying to fill. Like, because when they try to do it with Turpin, my stomach is going crazy. Can you hear that?
I got that. Yeah.
I thought that was like a car.
I need to eat, but it's okay.
Dude, Turpin, well, he's Pro Bowl.
I'm like, Zeke, you just got to feed me right now. You know what I mean?
You talking about Pollard?
Zeke, well, he does the feed me thing.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, no, but we didn't even talk about Pollard.
Yeah, I know. I knew that. I like both. I like Zeke, but Pollard's always, like, I knew he was going to step up.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, hold on. How do you feel about Turpin?
Well, I mean, we picked him up in the draft last year.
TCU boy.
Yeah. he's he does the kickoffs, does the punt returns here and there, but he's dropped one crucial
one that counted.
Which I mean that's going to happen. But to say like,
dude, I'm a big fan.
I don't.
I think he's got a lot of promise.
He does have a lot of promise, but the thing is that that's the reason why we're looking for another wide receiver.
That is true.
Because he hasn't stepped up. So that's what I'm trying to say is like,
Kellen, I don't think you and I have ever really had the Dak conversation.
He did great this last game.
But can we just agree on, like, I love that he is open and vocal. 2 press conferences ago, he completely owned it. He's like, yeah, I'm in a little bit of a rut.
Yeah.
Like, he's not denying it. He's not running from it. He's facing it head on. Yeah. And he's sticking in there.
Did you hear this last press conference, what he did? So he, like, right off the bat, before he even answered any questions, he was like, okay, let's get it out of the way. Let's talk about the first interception. Yeah. And he was just like, went into it. I've always liked Dak.
I like that. Yeah.
When he did get hurt this year, it's hard when it's hard when someone gets hurt and you're paying him a lot of money. You want to see him on the field. Like, that's the whole point of paying him so much money. You want them to produce for you. And so, it was hard, like, seeing those sleep commercials, like, at every break, and he's, like, sleeping on the bed, and you're just like, get on the fucking field. Like, yeah. And I understand he needed to, like, and thank God we had, Cooper Rush that could drive the bus for us for a little bit. But
yeah,
I've always really liked Dak. I was, like, even when he took over Tony's job, I was like, no, we got to stick with Dak. Like, he's running it right now. And I'm a huge Tony Romo fan. You know what I mean? Like, I've always kind of just liked the quarterbacks that we've had, even though people talk shit about them. Like,
yeah.
Like, I feel like they get so much hate for,
just being on America's team.
Yeah.
To start with.
But I mean, like, they don't get the credit they kind of deserve. And I think if without Dak in this last game, we wouldn't have won it. And I know, they didn't have Jalen Hurts.
So do you think Cooper Rush would have had the same outcome?
No. I mean, you don't put up 40 points as a backup.
See, I agree with that. A lot of people, were,
Cooper Rush did what he was supposed to do.
Put Coop back in.
No.
And I'm like, guys,
he did what he was supposed to do.
Let's be real. Like, he completed passes.
Yeah.
Didn't make terrible
handed
mistakes.
The ball off. Right. It's a different offense with a starting quarterback.
And they're running a completely different, offense. Like, exactly.
Yeah. And credit to Kellen Moore, even though he's the one guy that first of all, we talk about it. Same name.
You don't really like him, do you?
It's not that I don't like him. I don't like when he messes up, because then people start talking shit about
Kellens
the name
of the world. Yeah.
And so we got to keep each other accountable. So, he had a really good game plan. We couldn't run the damn ball though for a really long time, like 3 quarters or whatever. But they kind of adjusted. And shout out to Dak for not, like, when he threw that first pick right off the bat, not shutting down and, like, I mean, he went back to it, kind of a thing. So I'm excited that we get to play. Hopefully, I don't know who we're going to play in the first round. Probably the 49ers, but. You know who I would rather play is the Bucks. I don't think they're like, I know everybody's like, don't count out Tom Brady in the playoffs. It's like, Tom Brady is shitting the bed right now.
He's going in flames.
Yeah. Like, the dude's, I understand it. I understand he's, you want to call him to go. I do think he's a great quarterback, but he is not playing well. And, like, they barely beat the Cardinals this last week. And the Cardinals are not very good at all. Like, you barely beat them.
Dude, watching Brady play, I'm just going to say it. I feel like I'm watching the replacements sometimes.
Yeah. What the fuck was it? Keanu Reeves' character? I cannot. What is it? Damn it.
Oh, gosh.
I can't. I haven't seen
crazy.
I know, and people are screaming at
me.
But
no, when I saw some of his reactions, just follow me. Some of his reactions while he's playing, very... very replacement vibes.
Yeah, hold on. I got it right here. Shane Falco.
Falco, that's right.
Yeah, he does have some Shane Falco vibes. He's living off on a boat because Giselle and him have decided to split their ways. So he's like, hey, I'm just going to live on a boat over here in Florida for a little bit.
Which, like, that goes one of two ways. You're either, like, in a great mood and you're amped and, you know, you're happy again. The weight is off your shoulders. You go kick ass on the field.
Yeah.
Or your whole life is just...
So I'm saying
spiraling.
He just has, you know, and a lot of great quarterbacks have done the same thing. Like Brett Favre. I mean, he did, you know, won a Super Bowl, then retired, then came back, and he played pretty well. And then just started, he's like, okay, just retire, please. Just like, you need to stop with all this stuff. And I know we've talked about people who need to retire. And like, so we don't have to go there again. But I would rather play the Bucs than the 49ers. I'm a little bit worried about the 49ers. Brock Purdy, they're like their new quarterback that they're throwing out there right now since Jimmy G's hurt or whatever. He's been doing pretty well. He's getting the Cooper Rush treatment of people just saying he's just like a phenomenal, which I don't know. But I will say this. Gardner Minshew, the guy who, you know, he was dealing the other night. He was like, he could start for probably 50% of the teams, you know, and he is a backup, but he used to start, you know.
He can play.
He can play, and he was doing pretty well. I mean, he was throwing some bombs out there to A.J. Brown. And
is this the year, Kellen? Is this the year?
You know, as a Cowboys fan, we say it's every year.
Every year.
Yes, I will say it. This is the year.
That's right.
But that doesn't hold any water at all. As a Cowboys fan, you're gonna have to say it every year.
I think it's kind of like watching Elf, you know.
What about it?
I think that people stop believing, and their slate starts to.
You know when I stopped believing with the Cowboys was, and this is probably for a lot of people. This is when I was like, I'm never gonna let football get me this hard, and then obviously it does. But it was when Tony Romo fumbled the botched the snap for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
for the extra point.
I was sitting and
I teared up.
Yeah,
I was like, why do I root for this team? Why do I do it?
I was angry. Yeah. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's true what they say.
Yeah.
And all the shit talking that goes on throughout the years, it starts eating at you in moments like that.
Yeah. I mean, you got, like you said.
Maybe they're right.
Yeah, maybe they are right. But you know what? Cry, Eagles cry. They lost. I mean, obviously it's a backup quarterback, but hey, we've both been playing with some backup quarterbacks when we play each other.
It's all part of the game.
You know, Dak did really well, and Dak didn't play against a backup quarterback. He played against a really good defense. So,
dude, every single Eagles fan I know, something in their status they posted was like, yeah, we weren't 100. Like,
who gives a shit? Neither were we the first time around.
Right, dude.
Yeah, it goes both ways, okay?
It's like at the Stars games when other team scores, and then they say, who cares?
Right. Yeah, but I'm excited for the playoffs. I you know what?
It's a good time.
I said this at the beginning of the year too. I was like, I think the NFC East is going to be the division in the, you know, the NFC conference. And guess what? We're sitting at 4 or 5? I think we're at 4. 1, 4, and then 6 and 7. Like, you know, the Giants and the Giants and the Commanders are sitting out right outside the bubble. We could potentially all make it in. So I would love to see that. That would be cool. I mean, but then I did used to like that, you know, our division used to be a little bit of a cakewalk, but I do also know that, like, historically speaking, that division has been the most, like, I wouldn't say competitive in the sense that it's very tough,
right?
But competitive in the sense that you don't know who's going to win year in and year out. Like, you've got, you know, some other divisions that you're like, okay, like, you know, the Patriots are going to win this division. Like, no doubt about it. And then, you know, now it's like, okay, maybe the Bills are going to, you know, like, there's just like,
it's a little bit more open.
Yeah. So it's cool to see.
It's open season, baby.
Yeah. It's open season. I'm excited for it. Do you have, like, I don't know. I'm just back into it. Last week we had a really bad loss, right? The Titans. not Titans, Jaguars. I always get those two teams. I don't remember. I don't always do. That one hurt really bad.
Yeah, it was an unnecessary loss.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. How did your fantasy team do? And then we'll go to a break. You out?
Let's just put it this way. And guys, I know there's a few of you out there this year that are in the same unfortunate situation I'm in. You have no shot.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself, is it really worth the investment this week? Because my season's over. The playoffs, not even a glimpse. So,
right.
Yeah, I didn't even log in, Kellen.
Wow.
Didn't even log in.
I logged in to see how I was doing, but I was
No, I'm gonna have to take the penalty this year.
you're in last.
Yeah, it was a bad year.
Do you guys? So how we do it is, and we've changed it actually, but how
So
we
if you guys see me out in public and I'm in a dress or something,
just be okay with it.
It's not my fantasy. It's just fantasy.
It's other men's fantasies. No, so how we do it, and I wonder if you do it this way. The first week of the playoffs, like there's also what we call like last place or SACO. They have to do, whoever wins that game or whoever loses that game is like last place. So it makes it a little competitive because like in the years past, it's been, worst overall record and stuff like that. And like, after a while, sometimes there's one guy that's just like shit in the bed the whole time. So it's just like, oh, this guy's already going to be last place and we've only played 6 games,
Right.
So
let's make it fun.
We've kind of changed it a little bit here and there. And but is yours just last place record overall or?
Yeah, but I think it might be my last year in this league. I'm looking for some new leagues.
Are you also shopping around for that too?
Yeah.
Workshopping it, just trying to figure out.
Yeah, I'm shopping a lot of things right now.
Yeah. Well, that was football talk. I just wanted to get it out of the way. There was some groomer talk in there too. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about New Year's have passed, what we've done, and just see what else we got for the next year. So stick with us. Welcome back. When we left off, we were about to talk about what's coming up this year, this week, the New Year's Day, New Year's End. Let me ask you this: how do you think about New Year's? Like, are you? Because I've got some mixed feelings actually to tell you.
Yeah, no, I'm a pretty big New Year's guy. Not as much as I used to be.
Yeah. I think when you're in your like 20s and a little bit younger and then, mid 20s, New Year's is kind of like you've already done all the Christmas stuff with your family. You might have gotten together with your friends, but you're really like looking forward to New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
This one, now a little bit like I'm not going out like I used to go.
Well, that's kind of what I was alluding to was I'm just not like I still like New Year's, but it's a new way of celebrating.
Yeah, you're on that other side now. So
like I remember everything.
There's been some times, you go out to Dallas. Sometimes those Dallas bars are a little bit more fun, just to switch it up a little bit. There was this bar we went to for every New Year's for a while, like year after year after year, called, and I don't think it exists anymore. It was called Club Vice. And it was downtown. Do you know where the 80s bar is now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was across the street.
Oh, okay.
And it was underground. So it was downtown, and there was just some, big dude in a suit standing out front, and there'd be like a little projection with like it saying Club Vice out in front, like just like on the sidewalk. And and I know there's a bar there now, and I don't know the name of it, but you would just go over there and you just say, hey, give them your ID, and you'd go down and there'd be a full on just club down in this basement. Have you been to that place?
Yeah. Not. I think I went once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stumbled in there once.
I did stumble in there.
We used to like reserve a table and do bottle service, and that was so fun. Like it would just be our friends, probably like I don't know 20 of us, and we would just go down there. And for a while, a lot of these, like now everybody's kind of married or but it was just like hunting season, baby. You were just out there like who and
everybody on the prowl.
That's the thing is like at midnight, you got to find. It's like a time lock. It's like okay, so everybody start your watches. You got to find somebody by midnight, or maybe you don't. And here's a pro gamer move for my like mid 20 guys. If you don't find somebody at midnight, the night's not over. There's some girls out there that didn't find somebody at midnight too, and sorry to say it, but you get a little bit more like I didn't have anybody then.
You can still capitalize.
You can capitalize probably even more, to tell you the truth. Just pro gamer tip. 1 year we were there, and there's a lot of bowl games happening around this time, right? I cannot remember who was playing, but there was a bowl game here in town. Usually it's the Armed Forces Bowl, and sometimes they'll have another bowl game close, right? Sometimes whatever. For New Year's, the whole cheerleading squad of Colorado showed up.
Oh wow!
And boy, was it fun! There was a lot of people looking around at midnight, just trying to figure out who was going to be on the other side.
What's going on?
Yeah, so it was. I mean, guys, ladies, everybody, if you're, having a little bit of anxiety for that, the midnight kiss, just know, it's a little bit easier than you think. You can there's a lot of people that are not going to have a kiss.
You can kiss a stranger.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all right. COVID's over, or is it?
I don't know. Who knows?
But I'm over that now. I'm over like the going to the bar,
Dude,
I'm happy.
I like just being.
Same here. Watching the ball drop. Popping some champagne or some.
Dude, last year we went.
Andres.
B and I went to San Antonio last year.
Yeah.
Stayed at a really nice hotel. It was freezing cold. We were the youngest at this hotel by 30 years. Everybody was like
trying to slip you some money to come to their room later.
A bunch of horned up older people.
Just taking the blue pill.
I mean, they had a complimentary hotel party that if you booked, while you were there, you could get this package deal.
Ooh.
So I got the full package, like everything. And so we did it. And we were, it was just us and a bunch of old strangers that were watching. They had the TV up.
Yeah.
They did a countdown. And they had a photo booth thing set up. Like, dude, these old fucks got
wasted,
sloshed. I mean,
you don't know how many years they got left.
It was.
Do you remember the lady that fell at the bar?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I've never seen the longest fall. Like skating, and then boom.
You know when you're on a skateboard and you're going down a hill?
Yeah.
And you get the wobbles. Yeah, dude.
You can't stop it.
Yeah, that happened on her heels. She didn't even have Heelys on, but yeah, dude, it was. That was interesting.
Dude, imagine that. Heelys, but with heels.
That sounds like
Hold
a
on.
lawsuit.
Let me call
my
guy real quick.
Yeah, it's a big liability.
You
but
think
yeah,
so?
dude, we just stayed at the hotel and then walked around. We went and got some food, like late, like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we walked around the river walk. I mean, it was cool. San Antonio was cool because the Christmas lights were still
I
up.
love San Antonio.
So that was last year was cool, for sure.
San Antonio is one of those like spots that Austin obviously is really cool, but it's super crowded. I mean, San Antonio is very crowded as well, but like you can do as fun or more fun things in San Antonio than you can in a lot of other like big towns here. Because I mean, there's a lot of historical things you can do.
And we walked for most of it. We walked for.
The coolest thing about that trip though was that like we walked to the Alamo. It was really close.
Yeah,
to
we went to the Alamo at night.
We walked the river walk, and then we just like hung out in the room because it had a good view and watched movies and just relaxed.
Yeah, it was cool. But
I want to know, because I was thinking you were talking about how you did Christmas in rehab. Did Ernest go to New Year's Eve, and did he have one of those adventures at
I also had a few New Year's spent in institutions, and one in particular, it was the place I mentioned about hiding cigarettes up in the tiles of the ceiling. And
is everybody's resolution to get sober, or are they just like, oh,
well, they don't even ask.
Yeah,
it's like,
I want to lose weight. What? No, that's not why you're here for.
Yeah. No, it's unwritten and understood what everyone's New Year's. They didn't ask.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My God.
Yeah, I was saying.
Yeah, dude. So that I've been in New Year's in California. I've been in New Year's in Texas, all over different rehabs. But this place, so, dude, they did room checks every 2 hours, and I'd been there at this point a few days. So I kind of figured out the room check situation after I got out of the detox room. After the first day or two, I was in a regular room, and I had roommates and stuff in there. And one of the guys, a couple of girls, they were like, "Hey, let's sneak out."
Hell yeah!
Mind you, this place is out in the hill country. It's gated all around. Like, you're not getting out really, and the doors inside are. They have like everything's up to code for fire, but it's locked. Like,
everything's locked down.
You're not getting out, and they got people at every desk. I mean, it's a heavily staffed place, and like I said, it's more of the court mandated variety. So it is locked down. But anyhow, like the day before, during one of our groups, there was 4 like unmarked SUVs that flew onto the property, and police can't come inside. But one of the guys in my groups had committed a very severe crime.
Okay.
It must have been like a federal crime.
Yeah, it was definitely federal. And so they actually came in and swooped him out. So everyone was on a higher guard at this point. Okay. Well, we figured out how we were going to do this. So sure enough, like we all, we sneak out and we go off into the woods, pretty far away. We're still on the property.
What is your goal?
We just didn't want to be bored, I guess.
Because I was going to say, like, are you trying to get out and leave?
I think a couple of the guys and girls were trying to, do some things in the woods.
Oh.
I just was like, we had a football with us. We had a couple of blankets, and it was a little group of us.
Yeah, just some kids.
You know what? I like a good adventure.
Yeah.
So.
And what's the worst they can do?
Yeah.
Lock you back up?
Yeah. So, yeah, we snuck out, and we were just, laying looking at the stars, talking, hanging out, and kind of throwing the football around in the woods. And we heard a dog barking, and we were like, okay, well, surely, like, that's just somebody's dog,
Yeah.
And they're like, they're not going to find us. We're good.
Well, behold, he was sniffing your pillow and now he's trying to find you.
Then we see these flashlights, and the flashlights very faint, far off, and we can see them so far away, but we're in like dense woods at this point, so we would just move like further and further, and they couldn't find us. And then the flashlights disappeared. We're like, all right, we're good. And next thing we know, they did have a dog, and they did find us. And it was like every man for himself at that point. like this whole group experience was over.
Right.
You're on your own, dude.
Selling each other out.
And you just snuck out of you're not supposed to be breaking rules like that. So yeah, dude, I remember booking it to the woods. I was like, do I go for it? Like, do I make the great escape and try to get through the iron gates here?
What would you have done? I mean,
I was like, if I'm on the other side of the wire, it's fucking cold. I have no idea how far it is to civilization. Like,
damn.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it on the chin. Better yet, I'm just going to try to sneak back in.
So okay. So without them knowing that you left, but you had 2 hours to do it, right?
Yeah. Well, at that point, I had stuffed some sweatshirts under the...
Just in case.
Yeah. So maybe it looked like a body. Homie, when I got back, I didn't even have sheets on my bed. Like, they had stripped everything. And so I was supposed to get out of this rehab on my birthday, which would have been January 27th.
Yeah.
But because of that little stunt and a few other stunts, and I found out on my birthday, they're like, you've been a hard case. You've been in a lot of trouble.
You've been really hard.
You're not leaving today.
I wrote you a birthday. Did you ever get it?
I did.
Was it that year?
Yeah, it probably was.
I got you. Like,
yeah, man.
Some like Hot Wheel birthday card.
Yeah, no, it was super cute. Nice. Yeah, it was one of those things that like I got a lot of letters. Some years I didn't get hardly any. But dude, I don't know. I was always in a weird place. I didn't want to write people back really.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're like it's like you'd be at summer camp.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me think of that scene in Heavyweights when he's like writing his grandma. Have you ever seen that?
Oh God, yeah.
And he's like talking about like how shitty it is.
Yeah.
He's like, some people say war is hell. Yeah. They've never been to fat camp.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, exactly. Well, it's like, yeah, what am I gonna say back that you're gonna like? There's no real good,
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I'm doing great. That's it. I'm doing great.
3 hots and a cot. Yeah.
That's
what's going on.
Is that what they say? Stuff like that's lame. Like,
yeah, because you get 3 meals in a bed.
Right.
So there's all these little slogan sayings they carry with them. But yeah, man, that was an interesting New Year's experience. And I was like, it's got to get better than this.
Yeah.
It's got to get better than sneaking out of rehab on New Year's.
But that sounds fun, honestly. It's always fun sneaking out.
Yeah, it was like a real game of hide and seek. Yeah.
Yeah, the stakes were high. I like that.
Yeah. Dude, the funniest though was the last rehab I was at. I'll just say this real quick. It was even further from civilization. And, dude, like, you had cojones if you were trying to leave this place. Like,
really?
And I had one of my roommates was 19.
Oh, yeah. How old? Well, you don't have to say how old you were, but you were probably a little bit older, quite a few years older.
Yeah, I was 25, I think.
Okay.
Anyways, he did not want his parents, dude. His parents had sent him to a wilderness camp, like when he was 17, 18, like all these different places.
You're talking about like one of those.
Dude, this guy has escaped every place they've ever sent him to.
Really? Even
the wilderness. So he ended up. It was crazy, and it was true, because his parents, they backed him up on this. But yeah, this dude, he has escaped every rehab.
Let's get him on here.
Yeah, he lives local, but yeah, so this rehab, he was like, it's not hard, but
he's like, this is a fucking cakewalk.
But yeah, he didn't have to. He had to hitchhike once he was following, like, I mean, it was wild. Maybe we can get him on and let him tell a story. But yeah, so he left in the middle of the night, and they would also do room checks and flashlight checks and spotlights and all this stuff. And
when you say, go ahead. I was going to say, when you say wilderness,
yeah,
well, are you talking about like
you go live in the forest of like Utah?
Yeah, okay, Utah. Yeah. So that's usually, I'm reading a book.
Utah, if you're under 18, you can't
Yeah, you go to one of those schools. Have you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm reading a book where this guy was locked up. Like he got, gets kidnapped in the middle of the night. That's kind of usually how it goes. And then they get flown across the country to Utah. It's always Utah. And this one was like called the Elon School.
Okay.
And it was, I mean, it's nuts. Like, if that's what you're talking about, wilderness.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, he left this place out we were at last time, and it was a thunderstorm.
Ooh.
So he was like, I'm gonna take my chances that they don't do a room check.
Yeah.
They're not gonna check tonight. It's storming so bad. Bro, we ended up having a tornado warning. They had to come wake all of us up. We had to go hide in this safe spot or whatever, because there was a tornado coming through.
Jeez.
He had made it so he didn't get caught. He wasn't there when we did the whole tornado bunker down thing.
Yeah.
Because they weren't really counting people in and out. It was kind of an emergency deal.
Yeah.
Which you would think they would have, but
right.
Anyways, so then he shows up after this, and I stayed up, and he's covered in just mud and soaking wet, bro. And I was like,
"Do you have fun?
Yo, what brought you back?" Like, he was like, "Dude, that was insane." He's like, "It was storming so bad." I was like, "Yeah, bro, there was a tornado." He's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." Because this guy was like, it was crazy. He goes, "My plan, dude, the biggest fuck up in his plan was he was gonna make it to the train and he was gonna jump on a moving train."
Yeah.
He gets there. He made it to the train, which was like miles away.
Yeah.
And the train was parked for the night, and it wasn't moving.
Yeah,
and it was storming so bad, he was shivering. And he finally just said, "Fuck this." He said, I stood up on top of the train. He's like throwing rocks at stuff and just cussing.
"Move, you fucking train. I
Yeah.
want you move."
And then he showed up again. He's like, "Fuck that." It's like just.
Yeah, so Paris Hilton went to one of those schools, like kind of made it like pretty popular, or not popular, but like more in the mainstay of people's minds of what happens at those schools.
Yeah.
The wilderness schools that you're talking about.
Yeah.
For those that are listening that don't know what we're talking about, what they call, like, if parents for whatever reason can't control their kids, they sometimes will send them to these schools where.
Well, hold on, because some of them, they're not just sending them; they're hiring people. Dude, they come snatch you.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. That's what happened to her. That's what happened to the guy that in the book that I'm reading. It happens to everybody. Yeah. These two, like, picture heavyweight UFC fighters come into your house, like, no warning. Your parents don't say, "Hey, by the way." No, it's just out of the middle of nowhere. So you, like, first are traumatized because you think, like, "Oh shit, my whole family's getting just like murdered right now," and then they throw you in the back of a van. And then they, like, I don't know if they handcuff you or what, but they drive you to the airport. You're sitting in between them on the seats. Then you get dropped off at some school in Utah. The one that he was at, he said he got away from. He, like, his parents were visiting, and apparently, like, because of how shady and all the shit that they do there is, like, so messed up, they, like, funnel out the letters and stuff, like, to make sure the information that your parents are getting about what's happening in the school is not the same of what's actually happening at the school.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, like, he was behaving well enough at this point.
Oh, dude, the last place I went, to your point, they listened into all your phone calls.
Yeah.
And they read all your letters.
Right.
So you couldn't tell them, like, "Oh my gosh, they're not feeding us."
Right.
Or, like, that would not work.
Yeah. And so, like, that was happening. And anyway, he gets away because his parents come in, or his mom is there, but he has to go hang out with his mom, and they go into the local town, but it's with like his big brother kind of a thing, like the guy that's supposed to be like, "Hey, you don't mess up here." Apparently he, like, sucker punched the guy, maced him, like maced everybody, even his mom, and just ran and got, like, hitchhiked and got all the way to New York.
Yeah.
And they picked him up like 2 weeks later in New York. Somehow they found him in New York. And so it's like, it's crazy there's such a network with it. I don't think a lot of those schools exist today. They used to, but I mean, they still happen. They still exist.
Yeah.
But now, like,
There's some weird behavioral stuff. Like you gotta stare at somebody and
he had
gotta
to
do like
he's got a lot of wall time that he's talking about in the book, where he's just staring
at
the wall, and someone's also watching them watch the wall.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild.
Just be grateful is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's that time of year where you got to be grateful. We're past that. Okay, now we're on to what we're doing next. New Year's resolutions. Let's talk about that on the next episode. I want to know. I do have some resolutions that I do want to do. I've been trying to do them the last 5 years. So
you think about it. I'm gonna think about it, and then next episode we'll kind of dive into
and we'll see what other people's resolutions are. And
absolutely, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the PhD podcast. I'm Kellen King.
Tommy DeSalt, appreciate you. Follow us at Post Hump Day. Tell a friend. We'll see you next week.